Hello and welcome back to
Zach's
quarantine
yoga.
class. Today is the last yoga class. But first, I need to work out what kind of costume I'm going to wear. This won't do. No, this isn't very yoga friendly. This is somehow 100 times worse. You know what? This'll do. Right, so today, I don't know how many yoga poses we're doing, but let's just get into it. So first, we're going to start with the mountain pose. And we're going to hold this pose for 15 seconds. Okay, now the next pose we're going to do is the eagle pose. So to get into the eagle pose, you put one leg around the other, put your arms up like this and put one arm around the other. And we're going to hold this pose for 15 seconds. Okay, now the next pose we're going to do is the half moon pose. Oh gosh. Okay, right. So to get into this position, you stand on one leg, put one hand on the ground and put your other arm in the air and put your back leg out as far as you can go. I'm going to hold this pose for 10 seconds. Ugh. Okay, hold on. Right, we're going to hold this pose for 10 seconds. Okay, now, oh my god, it's so hot. The next pose we're going to do is the warrior one pose. To get into this position, you put your front leg out in front of you, put it at a right angle, put your back leg out, and then hold your arms up into the air. We're going to hold this pose for 15 seconds. Okay. The next pose we're going to do is the downward dog pose. We're going to hold this pose for 15 seconds. Okay. The next pose we're going to do is the warrior two pose. So we put our legs in the same position as before, but we put our arms out in front and behind. We're going to hold this pose for 15 seconds. The next pose we're going to do is the boat pose. So we've got to sit down, and then we put our legs and arms in the air parallel to each other. We're going to hold this pose for 10 seconds. Okay. The next pose we're going to do is the warrior three pose. Now, this is the most difficult of all the warrior poses, but we'll try it anyway. Right, let's stand on one foot, put your arms out in front of you and your back leg out backwards. So, and we're going to hold this pose for 10 seconds. Okay, now the next pose we're going to do is the mindful breath. So we just got to lie on our backs, put our hands on our stomachs and our chests, and think about our breathing for 20 seconds. Okay, now the next pose we're going to do is the cat pose. So to get into this position, get on your hands and knees, and you arch your back and your stomach towards the ground. We're going to hold this pose for 15 seconds. And the next pose is the cow pose, which is the same thing, just inverted with your back towards the sky. We're going to hold this pose for 15 seconds. Okay, now the next pose we're going to do is the side plank. So this is where you have to think it's onto one hand, and then like this, with one hand in the air. We're going to hold this for 17 seconds. Okay, the next pose we're going to do is the Lord of the Dance pose. So to do this, you stand on one leg, put one arm out in front of you, put your back leg up and grab it with your other hand. We're going to hold this one for 7 seconds. Okay. The next pose we're going to do, which is our second to last pose, is the prone backwards pose. So, you lie on your stomach, and then lift your arms and your legs back and pull your head up. We're going to hold this pose for 15 seconds. And finally, same as always, our last pose is the Zach pose. We're going to hold this, including the past 7 seconds, for 15. Okay. And that's it. Thank you for coming along on this magical, inspirational, truly breathtaking yoga experience with me. And I want to thank you so much for watching, and namaste.